Hello everyone. We are here to preview the Kolkata Knight Riders today. The team from the city of joy. The Kolkata Knight Riders carry a lot of emotion, a lot of hopes. They are a team that are they are two-time champions in this year's in the IPL. And what's more, they've got some of their best people now back as personnel. They've got Brendan McCullum there as a head coach. So they've got a solid team. They've got some of the most glamorous owners in the squad. A team that's known for their energy, the team that's known for power. They're the team that carries the emotion of the entire state of West Bengal and the fans all around. How would Kolkata Knight Riders pan out in this year's IPL? Before we look into the best 11, let's look at the squad for the Kolkata Knight Riders in this year's IPL.
So here we have the squad of the Kolkata Knight Riders, two-time champions. They had a clear vision this time. They want to go all out for the auction, and they went in all out. Got some of the biggest buys in this year's auction. For starters, they got Pat Cummins. They broke the bank, one of the most expensive players in history of IPL. They've got a very smart buy in Owen Morgan, the English white ball captain. What's more, he's not just a captain or a batsman. He's also one of those core team members here for KKR. What the auction did for KKR, their initial core was pretty light. It had a Karthik, it had a Russell. They didn't have any senior player at an Indian or at an international level. That's where I think Owen Morgan and Pat Cummins will come in and do a lot of good, because you're looking them to forge a good alliance, a good partnership, so that they can help in taking KKR forward. KKR begin to stutter towards the latter part of the tournament. So that's where their experience will help them in moving ahead, especially in those crunch timings that they've got. Apart from this, they got in Tom Banton, a very exciting English T20 cricketer. He's made his mark in the domestic circuit. This could be the time for him to say that, look, I'm not just a good player in the English domestic circuit, I'm an excellent player across the country in across conditions. So that's how it's going to be very interesting as to how they fit in Tom Banton into the squad. At an Indian level, they've somewhat covered their bases from a bowling perspective. With Kamlesh Nagarkoti fit, everyone's eager to watch him bowl. There's Shivam Mavi, there's Prasidh Krishna, who's ever improving. That's a very good sign for Kolkata Knight Riders. From a spin department perspective, they've got Sunil Narayan. They've also got Varun Chakravarti. He had a lot to promise. Unfortunate that got injured during his debut IPL season. One man we are all excited and eagerly waiting to witness his comeback is Kuldeep Yadav. No one can forget his disheartened face last year, but I think past is past. He would love to bowl in the UAE, not to prove a point to anyone, but to himself that it was just one bad season. One player whom we all want to see more is going to be Shubman Gill. He has to be given more opportunities at the top. You can't have him bat at number 5 and number 7. He's a top order batsman. Get him to play at number 3 or perhaps even open with him. That's a very good sign for KKR if they do so. All in all, a more complete team this time than last year. They have a solid core now. This team definitely packs a punch and can get KKR over the line and take them to the trophy for the third time.
So now that we've looked at the squad for the KKR, what's going to be the best 11 for KKR to go for the third trophy in the IPL? I would want to have Shubman Gill opening. He's a supremely talented youngster. He's come up the ranks. He's had an excellent 2 years. The last 2 years, Shubman Gill has to open. He needs more game time. He needs more number of balls to showcase his talent. Shubman Gill at number one, and I would say at least for the start of the tournament, they need to have Sunil Narayan opening. Sunil Narayan has done well in the CPL. He always does well in the IPL, and that also gives him a new angle, and he's done well. The second part of Sunil Narayan, he also comes in as a good off spinner. Post his action change, the effectiveness had come down, but he's still an economical bowler. And in Dubai, he's going to be all the more of interest. So Shubman Gill and Narayan to open. One down, I'd want Nitish Rana, one of the most sensible players. You've seen him go hammer and tongs. He's a left-hander, and the best part is he can also come in handy with his 4 overs of spin. So Nitish Rana at number 3. Number 4 is where I would want the English white ball captain Owen Morgan to come in. Owen Morgan, as we've seen, is the bridge between the top and the middle order. He's one person who can take the innings forward. He can change his tempo at any given time of the game. He can hit as hard as a Russell, and he at number 4 gives a perfect platform for Dinesh Karthik at number 5 and Andre Russell at number 6. Now Russell can be a floater. Russell can come in at number 3 as well. But what's important is last year we found that they were too much dependent on Russell. In fact, Dinesh Karthik hardly had game time from a batsman point of view. So this year with Morgan at number 4, Dinesh Karthik at number 5, Russell at number 6, you've got that solid middle order that KKR were missing. They had a similar middle order when they won the IPL in 2012 and 2014. Now, with Russell at number 6, at number 7, I feel Rinku Singh does deserve a chance here. You've got multiple options there. You can have Rinku Singh, you can have Nikhil Naik, you can also have Siddesh Lad, who they've got from Mumbai. But at this point of time, given the familiarity that Rinku Singh has with KKR, Rinku Singh at number 7 makes a lot more sense. At number 8, ideal for Pat Cummins, the biggest buy in this year's IPL to come in. One might wonder that how are KKR going to manage with Cummins. He's someone who's known to want to maintain his fitness across the entire 14 games. You have a like-to-like replacement in Lockie Ferguson if Pat Cummins does want a break. But Pat Cummins at number 8 is important there. At number 9, we want Kuldeep Yadav, a supremely talented left-arm spinner, one of the best left-arm spinners in the world right now. He's got a lot to prove this year, and the pitches in the Gulf are going to favor him. At number 10, I'm tempted to play Kamlesh Nagarkoti. A lot has been said about this cricketer. We've seen him bowl in the Under 19 World Cup 2 years back. Unfortunate that he's been ravaged with injuries. He bowls fast, he could be handy in the Gulf. Kamlesh Nagarkoti at number 10, we all want to see him. I personally want to see him charging in and bowling to the likes of Chris Gale, AB de Villiers, Kohli for that matter. He's such a supremely talented bowler. And at number 11, it's got to be Prasidh Krishna. He might not have the pace, but you could see a vast improvement from 2018 to 2019. KKR has believed in him, have trusted him a lot, and he's sort of repaying them there. So it's time to give Prasidh Krishna the entire season to say, take this as an opportunity and go hammer and tongs with the ball. This is their best 11. How do they have like for like replacements? I think if there is a time where they feel that Sunil Narayan at opening isn't effective, you've always got Tom Banton coming in or move Siddesh Lad up. So that's something that they can. From an Indian perspective, if you see, Siddesh Lad can come in at any position. From a bowling perspective, they've got Sandeep Warrior, they've got Shivam Mavi, who's again an under 19 2018 champion. So they've got the replacements perfectly picked. And with Brendan McCullum there, Dinesh Karthik, Owen Morgan, Russell, this is a very solid think tank. In fact, Owen Morgan took inspiration from Brendan McCullum when McCullum led the New Zealanders in 2015 to the World Cup final. So there is some kind of a bond. Remember, Kolkata Knight Riders, Caribbean counterparts, the TKR won this year's CPL. They've got a certain amount of core in the form of Brendan McCullum there. If they can just rekindle that, it's a very short span from Caribbean to India. If they can do that, this year could be KKR's year. And as they rightly says, it's Ami KKR.